Today, I am very excited to try the latest smart glasses for people who are blind and low vision, the Agiga EchoVision Smart Glasses. We're gonna push them to the limit and see if they're right for you. I have put the paid promotion tag on this video because Agiga did gift these smart glasses to me, but they had no editorial comment or say in the making of this review. EchoVision arrives in a nice high-quality box with embossing on the top, front, and side. Opening the front flap of the box, you are met with customer care information and a quick start guide provided in large print and contracted braille. Under that, you'll find the glasses case included with purchase at the time of recording. Inside the case, you'll find the glasses and clip-on sunglasses also included at time of recording. And below all of that, you will find the nose bridge pads, charging cable, and cleaning cloth. There are only 3 controls for EchoVision: the touch pad on the left arm, the button on top of the left arm, and the button on top of the right arm. To turn the glasses on or off, press and hold the button on the left arm for 5 seconds. If you tap the left arm button, it will take a photo. To start recording, tap the button twice. To stop recording, tap the same button once. Tapping the button 3 times will tell you the battery state. Tapping the button on the right arm enters QA mode, where you can ask a question, and if it doesn't hear anything, it will provide a scene description. Tapping the right arm twice will enter live AI mode for real-time scene descriptions. Tapping 3 times enters reading mode, which provides better OCR for documents. The touchpad can be used to increase or decrease volume by swiping forward and back. A single tap on the touch bar will mute, unmute, or pause and resume speech. A few features that really stood out to me, and we'll talk more about some of these later: it allows you to turn the recording light off from within the app. It provides live scene descriptions instead of just static image descriptions. It also offers person description, and while it doesn't say this on the website, it has an IP54 rating for light splashes or incidental rain. Next, let's compare some of the most current smart glasses for blind people so you can see how EchoVision stacks up. I'll be comparing EchoVision to the Meta RayBans and OrCam 3. When it comes to battery power, EchoVision offers 6 to 9 hours or up to 30 with the case. The RayBans offer 8 hours or 48 hours with the case, and the OrCam My Eye Pro 3 offers 1.5 to 2 hours. For camera, EchoVision boasts a 13 megapixel camera. RayBans offer a 12 megapixel camera. OrCam also offers a 13 megapixel camera. EchoVision weighs 41 grams excluding lenses. RayBans come in at 49 to 53 grams depending on your frame choice. And the OrCam weighs in at 22.5 grams plus glasses frames. EchoVision offers a subscription model to unlock additional reading options or AI modes. And RayBans and OrCam do not offer subscription models. When it comes to security, EchoVision says that they do not have access to your recordings, data, or other information unless you submit them. And with any of their AI partners, they do not share that information or use it for training. Anything used with Meta is processed through Meta's servers, and anything with OrCam is processed on device. EchoVision offers aim assist, RayBans do not, and OrCam does offer aim assist. When it comes to price, EchoVision is $599 US at time of recording, RayBans are $499, and OrCam comes in at $4,250. Let's do some tests. Do not mind the wire that's coming down from my right side here. That has nothing to do with EchoVision. That's actually just a microphone that I've hooked up to the glasses so you can hear what I hear. Since I know EchoVision can do basic color identification, we're going to try something a little bit trickier. I have 3 similar shades of paper. Let's see if it can distinguish them. Identify the color of these 3 sheets of paper from left to right.
The 3 sheets of paper from left to right are colored bright red, dark red, and bright pink.
The first sheet of paper is more a coral or orange color. It described it as a light red, but I have also noted some inconsistencies in my response where sometimes it identifies it as pink, sometimes it identifies it as red. Both are technically correct, so I'm going to give it partial points. Next, let's see how it handles patterns. Describe this scarf.
A silky scarf with a detailed pattern featuring intertwined golden ropes, tassels, and buckles on a background of cream and dark blue sections with paisley designs.
I'm going to give that full points. It did well. Next, let's see if it can describe a person. The person behind the camera is approximately 10 feet or 2.5 to 3 meters away. Describe this person.
A young adult woman of South Asian descent with a fair complexion, dark brown eyes, and long, dark hair pulled back in a ponytail. She appears to be of average height with a slender build. Her expression is relaxed, with her arms crossed and a slight, almost shy smile playing on her lips. Her gaze is directed slightly away from the camera, giving her a contemplative air.
I'm going to give that full points, but I'll discuss more about what I think of the person description a little bit later. Next, we're going to have the EchoVision try to read different sized text. It starts at 40 point and goes all the way down to 4 point, and we'll see where it starts to struggle to read. Read this text.
This is a test to determine at what size the camera has difficulty reading print. Text becomes increasingly difficult for cameras at smaller and smaller text size. Are we making mistakes yet? Who knew that this camera would make it this far? This is the smallest recommended text size for print, and it's still reading. I'm surprised this is smaller than most newspapers.
It made it all the way down to the very last line and didn't read it at all, but that's 4 point font. I would not expect this camera to be able to do that, and 6 point is smaller than even most newspapers or fine print. Full points. Next, let's see how it handles menus. How much are the crispy pork belly wraps?
The crispy pork belly wraps are priced at $18.
That was wrong.
When working with EchoVision, I have given it quite a number of chances to read menu prices and menu items. You've only seen one example of that. I would say on a fairly standard modern style menu where the prices are slightly separated from the items, it makes a lot of mistakes. So I would not trust it. If it tells you the price of something, it's more likely to make it up than get it correct. Let's give it another shot. Let's ask it to read a specific heading from this menu. Can you read the items under noodles and rice?
Under noodles and rice, teriyaki chicken chow mein, yakisoba noodles, udon bowl, salmon garden bowl.
Is that correct?
There's no yakisoba.
It seems to have gotten the first item right and then started making up items. No points. Next, let's have EchoVision look at this flyer, and I'm going to ask it to tell me what the deals are. We're going to see if it's able to get the prices and the items. Can you tell me the specials on?
The specials include pork shoulder blade roast at $9.99 per pound with a 32% savings, red cherries at $1.99 per pound with a 66% savings, Atlantic salmon fillets at $10.99 per pound with a 41% savings, and maple leaf natural cheese at $4.92 with a 34% savings.
It was just the first item it got wrong. It's steak.
So I think I'm going to give this close to full points. We'll say part points on this. It was able to identify all of the special items, and it was able to identify that it was meat, but it got the type of meat wrong. Next, we're going to ask it to do something quite complex. I have a chemistry textbook here. We're going to enter reading mode, and we're going to see if it can summarize the page.
Starting text detection, please hold your document steady. Move about 1 inch right. Move about 1 inch right. Move about, got it. You can lower the page. Processing now.
The direction is really nice. Summarize this page.
Here's a short summary of that page. Dash, dash, dash. Hydrocarbons are organic molecules made of hydrogen and carbon. In particular, cyclic hydrocarbon-air ring structures rather than open chains. Examples include cyclopropane, 3-membered ring, cyclobutane, 4, cyclopentane, 5, and cyclohexane, 6. The size of the ring affects molecular shape and stability. Smaller rings, 3 or 4-membered, are more strained and less stable. Larger rings relax strain and are more like open-chain alkanes. Alkanes are saturated hydrocarbons, single CC bonds only, generally non-polar, chemically less reactive, with properties, like boiling point and melting point, that increase with molecular size. Dash, dash, dash. If you want, I can explain each molecule's geometry or how ring strain works in more detail.
This absolutely gets full points. This is miles ahead of any kind of text-to-speech that I had available to me when I was in post-secondary. Next, let's see how it handles handwriting, printing, handwritten notes. This is something that a lot of OCR has struggled with in the past. Let's see how it does. Also, I have no idea if this is upright or upside down, so if it is upside down, we'll see if it has any trouble or tells us to reorient. Read this note.
This is a test for average handwritten notes.
It read it perfectly upside down. Full points? Let's give it another. Read this note.
Can't it read messy handwriting?
It said, can it read messy handwriting? I think it said, can't it read messy handwriting? But I'm going to still give that full points. It's upside down. Now, let's see how it does with cursive. Read this note.
Can it read handwriting?
I'm going to give it full points with a disclaimer that it does make more errors when text is upside down, and this has been consistent throughout my testing process. It would be nice if EchoVision could let you know if the text was oriented in the correct direction, because the accuracy is really good when it's upright, but it does start to slip a little bit when it's upside down, and it does not tell you to reorient. Next, let's see how it does with some product identification. What is this?
A box of gluten-free Breton crackers with original oat bran flavor, held by two hands over a blue surface.
I'm going to give that full points. Let's see how it handles product identification in crinkly plastic. This should be very difficult for the camera because it's not flat, it's not square, it's all over the place. What is this?
A hand holding a bag of Tostitos Round and Rounds tortilla chips.
Full points. Holding the can up this way, the label will be partially obscured from the camera. Let's see how it handles that. What is this?
A cylindrical can with a red and yellow label, held by two hands. The label includes the word Unico and an image of black beans.
I'm going to give that full points. It identified this as black beans, even though the label wasn't visible. Well done. Let's see how it handles reading ingredients lists. I don't know the orientation here, so hopefully this is oriented correctly. Read the ingredients for this product.
Ingredients: enriched flour, wheat flour, niacin, reduced iron, thiamine mononitrate, riboflavin, folic acid, sugar, palm oil, corn syrup, cocoa processed with alkali, leavening, baking soda, and/or calcium phosphate, salt, soy lecithin, chocolate, artificial flavor.
Chocolate in my crackers. Delicious. That was 110% wrong. I think it made up all of the ingredients. It started with enriched flour. These are gluten-free crackers. Wrong. How is the orientation? Am I orienting it wrong?
Sideways.
Let's give it another shot with the ingredients oriented the correct direction. Read the ingredients for this product.
Ingredients: tapioca flour, vegetable oil, canola, sugar and flour, rice flour, cane sugar, sea salt, sesame seeds, baking soda, ammonium bicarbonate, monocalcium phosphate, natural flavor, contains sesame seeds.
I think some of those things were correct, but a lot of the ingredients were not correct or in the correct order, so I am not giving that any points. I've done significant testing, and that is consistent across products where it frequently makes mistakes, makes up ingredients, or tells you that it has an allergen that it does not have. No points. Let's see how it handles nutrition facts. Read the nutrition facts for this product.
Nutrition facts per 4 crackers: 18 grams, calories 90, fat 4, 5 grams saturated, 0.4 grams, trans 0 grams carbohydrate, 12 grams fiber, 1 gram sugars, 7 grams protein, 1 gram cholesterol, 0 milligrams, sodium 130 milligrams, potassium 40 milligrams, calcium 10 milligrams, iron 0.3 milligrams.
It looks like it got protein and cholesterol wrong.
It correctly identified some of the nutrition facts, but not all of them. This is also consistent with my testing, where it will frequently make up numbers associated with different nutrition values. It won't read the decimal point. So I absolutely would not trust this if you need to look at the nutrition facts for your health for any reason. Next, let's see how it handles expiry dates. What is the expiry date for this product?
The expiry date on the product is the 1st of November 2025.
That is incorrect. This is also consistent behavior with repeated testing. Now, I absolutely would not recommend anybody do this with any AI product, but we are going to ask it for the dosage instructions of this medication. I am going to hold it in such a way that the dosage instructions are not visible, and we are going to see if it makes it up or if it tells us that the instructions aren't there. What are the dosage instructions for this?
The dosage instructions are not clearly visible in the image provided. Please provide a closer or clearer image of the dosage instructions on the bottle.
It accurately said that the dosage instructions are not visible. I'm going to ask it again. Now the dosage instructions will become visible, and we are going to see what it says.
Directions. Adults and children 12 years and older. Take 1 tablet every 4 to 6 hours. If pain or fever does not improve after 1 tablet, take 2 tablets at next dose. Do not take more than 4,000 milligrams, 6 tablets, in 24 hours. Keep out of reach of children. This package contains enough drug to seriously harm a child. Use only on the advice of a doctor. Store at 15 to 30 degrees Celsius.
It got it almost perfect, but it said do not exceed 6 tablets when I believe the package should have said 8 tablets. Half points. One thing to note with EchoVision is it does not let you know if the lighting is sufficient. Note that I am in the most ideal situation for this camera. There are multiple studio lights around me. It is very bright in here, so it does the best that it is going to do. It does start to fail in lower lighting conditions. It may just start making up information. So what are my overall thoughts on EchoVision? Let's start with some of the positives. I love the natural language processing. Being able to ask a question in whatever words I choose and being able to get a coherent response. Second is the price. I think this is the first time I have seen a blind-specific product that is relatively comparable in price to the mass market mainstream product. Even if you factor in a $9 a month subscription plus the base cost of these glasses, it would take 30 years of use to be equivalent to the cost of an OrCam. And you don't necessarily need the subscription for these to work. I think it's also generally positive that it doesn't prevent you from describing what someone looks like. Meta RayBans do not allow you to do that, and to my knowledge, OrCam does not do that. That being said, there are two things that I would adjust about how it describes someone. I think the description is a little bit long. It starts making mistakes when it applies emotions to someone. It got a little bit close to describing someone's bust size in a couple of descriptions, which I found particularly uncomfortable. Saying someone's positioning like they have their hands up or they're smiling or frowning, that's fine. But saying they look inquisitive or they look speculative, it's usually not accurate to what the person is actually doing or feeling. To each their own. I'm genuinely curious how you would feel about that. I also love the aim assist feature. It's something that Meta RayBans does not have. And while I'm comparing a bit apples to oranges here because I have not tried the current MyEye Pro 3, I tried the MyEye Pro 2, the processing time seems significantly faster, maybe 3 seconds to 5 seconds on the outside. And I did find it to generally be on par with, if not slightly better, than Meta in terms of how it structured its responses. I think its ability to summarize, detect text, handwriting, fonts in varying sizes is excellent. I think its pattern recognition, its color detection is reasonably good. I also want to praise their security features. Despite processing off device, the fact that EchoVision does not have direct access to any photos taken on your device, that none of the information that you use will be used for any training unless you specifically send it to them in a bug report is fantastic. That gives me a lot of peace of mind and is a real pro. Now let's talk about some of the feedback that I would give to EchoVision or some of the cons that I noted while testing this product. For me personally, and I would say I have an average-sized female face, these are very, very sloppy. When I sit, they slide right down, they sometimes fall right off my face. I have to be careful how I'm hooking them. Having glasses that are constantly sliding around is a bit annoying. In the quick start instructions, there was one page that indicated scanning a QR code on the right, but there was no tactile outline around the QR code, so it made it difficult to understand where the QR code was that you had to scan. I've spoken to EchoVision about this. They said that in their next print run, there will be a tactile outline around the QR code. In addition to that, if you scan the QR code from iPhone versus Android, you get a completely different experience. The Android QR will scan you and take you to the user page. The Apple will take you to the app and not give you the user instructions. And while I am delighted that they included both large print and Braille in their quick start instructions, there were a few issues, both with typos in the Braille, as well as inconsistencies in use between UEB, which is Unified English Braille, and the older Grade 2 Braille. When I spoke to EchoVision, they said they're aware of the errors in the Braille and they will be fixing those in the next print run. The other thing that concerned me is, without direct contact with the company, which I thankfully had, there were several different tech specs and features that I had questions about that were not available online or that I couldn't find very easily, including its IP rating, its weight, its online-offline capabilities, and the security features, i.e. how it processes information. Subscription models are always a tough sell for me. I understand, because of AI usage and the costs associated with it, that they cannot have unlimited use. I personally found the subscription limits to be significant, particularly when it comes to the live AI mode. I see live AI being most useful in a number of different circumstances, particularly when you're traveling in unfamiliar environments, like you're in a train station, you're in an airport, you're traveling somewhere new, you're in a conference hall and you need to figure out how to get from A to B. Only 90 minutes is probably not going to serve you for your travel day or through your conference. That being said, unlimited Q&A is pretty good. When I used the clip-on sunglasses, the magnets were not strong enough. I would frequently knock them off and they would go flying anytime I was trying to press the trigger button or enter QA mode, and I did not find them dark enough, but that's just my take as somebody with albinism who needs something with a very dark tint. I did not find the commands or button modes intuitive. I would frequently mix up which side each button should be because the buttons feel the same. I don't know if that's just a me issue, but it was a lot of things to keep in my head, especially when I was just starting to learn how to use this product. One of the biggest challenges I ran into in the actual functioning of the glasses was it making up text that was not present, in particular expiry dates or nutrition information. My preference would be, if text is not present, it does not read that. I think there needs to be an adjustment to some of the code, so when it is reading something, it is working more strictly from an optical character recognition standpoint rather than from an AI description standpoint, because I think that's where a lot of the hallucination creeps in. It seemed to struggle significantly with menu pricing and menu item identification. Again, even in a very well-lit environment, I found when the lighting was poorer, its responses were even more unhinged. And I have found this is a feature across most of the AI glasses that I have tried, but it misidentified the type of intersection that I was testing, and it was not able to tell me when it was safe to cross. Not that I would ever rely on an AI app to be able to do that for me. You always need good orientation and mobility skills. I just think that's important to note so that people aren't relying on this for that kind of information. I also found, and this was a big disappointment for me, that these glasses were not able to describe complex images or infographics with any reliability. If I pop an image into something like GPT or Claude or Be My AI, I tend to get a lot more reliable results than using the EchoVision smart glasses. I did also note in several instances during testing that it would describe the scenery or the space that I was in rather than responding directly to the question that it was posed. Please read the items under noodles and rice.
A white vase with light yellow and green artificial flowers.
It also struggled to identify coins, either Canadian or American. And I also found the live AI descriptions, while interesting, not very functional for use as a navigation cue, because there was a significant delay between what it was able to notice and describe versus what I would actually want to know. If there was a way to tailor the live AI to only provide specific information, kind of the way the Apple Magnifier app does, where you're only looking for doors, or you're only looking for paths, you're only looking for a specific object, that would be really, really nice, but it doesn't do that at this stage. And as of time of recording, I was not able to connect directly to my friends and family linked to my Be My AI, which means that I could make a call with the glasses, but they would not be able to see through the glasses to help direct me. I would have had to do a FaceTime call or what I normally do. Although, if I was calling with Be My AI, I could get a volunteer and they would see through my glasses, so something that I'm hoping that they improve in the future. There are a few big wins for EchoVision. The big one is price. You are not going to find another device this capable with their claimed security features anywhere on the market. It's wonderful being able to go hands-free when you need that little extra bit of description or visual help. I think its reading capabilities are generally pretty good. It's functional in many ways, but there are definitely some creature comforts that I'm missing that I would love to see. And the biggest drawback or the biggest hesitation I have is I want accuracy when it comes to my information. And with any AI device, not just these glasses, but any device, Meta, Envision, there is a distinct possibility and a regular occurrence where you are getting hallucination or misinformation from your glasses. And that's a big concern to me because I know a lot of people aren't going to question the information that they get from these, and that remains a big problem for me. I do think many people could benefit from the use of these glasses. I think they're in a price point where a lot of people could probably save up to afford them. I think even with the AI subscription cost, it's well worth the investment for a lot of people. But I want to see where this technology goes in the next edition, because even from their previous software to this one, there was a tremendous difference in terms of what it was able to do and how it was able to process. If you've tried EchoVision and want to share your thoughts, I'd love to hear them. Do you think my review was fair or was it too harsh? And if you're curious to learn more about EchoVision because it might be right for you, check out the links in my description where EchoVision's website and products will be listed. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.